Hello again, Knights fans, and welcome to the floor here at Stratus Arena. I'm Tommy Mead, joined as always by head coach Greg Herenda for our once-a-week kind of interview here.
Yep.
Coach, it's the last week of January. You're 9-10 overall, 5-3 in the NEC, tied for second place.
Right.
Last week, you split a pair of games. You beat LIU 101-95 in pretty much the wildest game anyone's seen in 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
And then you had a setback against Mount St. Mary's on
Yep.
Sunday.
Right.
What'd you see out of your team in those two games?
We didn't get off to good starts in both of those, so we're trying to address that. And then we didn't get off to a good start against Bryant. Those are 3 home games that we need to be ready in our building. So that's an issue of our basketball team. LIU, they allowed us to get back into it and things went right, but we can't, that's not a steady diet. We have to come out and play good basketball early, and that's the difference. We won one game because we were fortunate. Our press always will get us back into basketball games, which it did against Mount, but Mount was too good. So when we cut it to 12, instead of going to 6, it went back up to 19. So I like our team. I think this is part of our youth of being prepared. I think the snow, Mount handled it well. There wasn't a great building just because people couldn't get to the game. But I think Thursday night, I was just talking to the softball girls. I think people are really interested in our team. So Thursday night against St. Francis, it'll be a different building. We need to start better.
Now let's focus in on LIU for a second here. An epic performance from Darian Anderson, 32 points, 28 in the second half. He was huge in that comeback. What'd you see out of him in that second half?
Well, Darian's got what all great players have. He's got a fire inside of him. And when Darian gets it going and the fire's lit and everything's clicking, he's dangerous. We saw Sid Sanders here 2 years ago. I've coached a lot of great players. He's got it. And I need our entire team to have that fire. But that comes with experience, and that comes with doing it. Darian's done it before, but when he plays at a high level, he ignites our team, and then the rest of the guys get better. Tyrone O'Gara has to play with that fire. He played great the last time we played against St. Francis. But this is January and February in college basketball. The team that plays the hardest and the most together generally wins, not the team that's hot. Everyone thinks, well, you're making shots, you're going to win games. That helps. But the teams that play the hardest and that are most cohesive at this time win basketball games. And right now, we've been splitting each weekend, which there's nothing wrong with that for us, but we like to win 2 games. But the way you win 2 games is getting off to a good start on Thursday night.
Now, you've mentioned the parity in the league earlier on. You say every night anyone can beat anybody.
Exactly.
The top 8 teams in the league right now are between 4-4 and 6-2 in record.
Right.
And LIU, who's in 9th place, is just 3 games back of first.
Exactly.
Can you expect that the rest of the way inside the NEC?
I don't see how it changes, because the teams are just so evenly matched. The coaches know each other. It's just a mosh pit of a league, which I think for us is good. But for right now, we want to get a home game, but then you want to make sure that you're in the conference tournament. So it's a fine line. So I think at the end, what you need to do is just take care of your business, have good practices, have good weightlifting sessions, have the kids in a good frame of mind. And we've been very consistent all year. And so is our record. Our record's consistent, but in our league, we excel. We're the leading scoring team in the league. Our field goal percentage is high. We have the most, or now we're not the most steals, but we're high in steals. Our turnover to assist ratio is great. So as long as those, it's like taking your blood pressure, and getting your blood count. It's got to be, all those things have to be in order. Our DNA is really good right now, but we have to, do it for, 10 more games. And as you well know, Tom, as a former player in this league, 10 games flies by, so we have to take care of, each game singularly, one at a time.
Now, coming up this weekend, you have St. Francis U here on Thursday night, and then you go to LIU on Saturday.
Yes.
2 teams that you've already played this year.
Right.
Is there anything different you do in preparation, either mentally or physically, when you're playing a team for the second time?
Well, we've beaten both of those teams, so it's harder to beat them 2 times. I think both coaches look at the tape, and everyone's going to try to tweak things. But I think at the end of the day, it's about matchups. And St. Francis, that was the first time I've beaten St. Francis as the head basketball coach. LIU, we've had a little bit better luck. I just think it's whoever's ready and whoever plays. There's no secrets. All of a sudden, St. Francis isn't going to be, they're not going to be Mount, and we're not going to be Bryant, or So I just think it's being prepared and having your players with a fire. At the end of the day, man, it's about playing hard. And if you play hard, you got a chance to win. If you come out like we didn't against Mount and we weren't prepared and they were, we had no chance of winning that basketball game. So it comes down for our viewers out there, especially the young ones. If you're prepared and you try your hardest and do your best, that's really the best the way to be successful.
All right, Coach, last question, not basketball related. We did have a significant snowstorm. It pushed the game back to Sunday. Yes. Who does the shoveling at your house, you or your son?
Well, now I have a 13-year-old son, so I put him out there early to see we have a relatively long driveway. I'm not a snowblower guy at all, but my son helped. And then once I get into anything in life, I get addicted to it. So I was out there on Saturday every hour and a half and until it stopped snowing, and it's a good workout. But you got to be careful, because if you have any health issues, it's a dangerous situation. But right now, thank God, I'm in decent health, and I love the snow, and I love shoveling. I told you before, I love mowing my lawn and shoveling snow, and I don't know, I'm a little bit. I like, because when you coach college basketball, you hardly ever see the results right in front of you. But when you mow the lawn, the lawn is mowed, and when you shovel the driveway, it's shoveled. So, in a crazy way, I enjoyed it.
Nothing wrong with that, Coach. Thank you for joining us. You can watch both games this weekend on necfrontrow.com.